Number 7, Kansas men's basketball lost to unranked BYU in Lawrence in the fog. 76 to 68. So what exactly happened? Kansas was up 35-29 at halftime. They even had a 12-point lead during the second half. But they blew it. And BYU scored 47 points and Kansas scored 33. I want to go over the last 2 minutes of the game or so, as well as the stats. And I apologize if I have to look down for both of those because I cannot memorize every single stat out there. With 2:04 left, KJ Adams fouled and Jackson Robinson made both free throws. So 68-66 BYU. And around 1:54 left, KJ Adams missed a jumper. And Noah Waterman blocked that shot and he got the defensive rebound around 1:34 left. Don Hall made a 3, 71-66 with 1:34 left, and Kansas called timeout 3 seconds later. And Nicholas Timberlake missed a jumper with 1:13 left, and Waterman from BYU got the defensive rebound. A foul was called on Hunter Dickinson with around 48 seconds left. They wanted to play it out, and I'm sure Bill Self would have wanted to do that, but they decided to foul, even though it was late in the shot clock. I mean, 8 seconds. And Dolan Hall missed the first free throw but made the second, so 72-66. And Nicholas Timberlake missed a 3 around 39 seconds left, which Dejon Harris got the offensive board, and Timberlake missed a 3 again. KJ Adams got offensive rebound. And Dolan Hall fouled around 25 seconds left, and Dickinson went to the line and missed both. And Traore, or Traore, I apologize if I butcher that name, got defensive rebound, and he was fouled by Dejon Harris Jr. And Traore made both free throws, 74-66. And Spencer Johnson fouled around 18 seconds left. It's like, you're up 8. No need of foul. The clock's in your favor, and you have a big enough lead. But Timberlake made both free throws, so 74-68. And BYU called timeout. Marker Jackson fouled, and Spencer Johnson made both free throws for BYU, 76-68. Around 14 seconds left, Johnny Furphy missed a 3. BYU got defensive rebound, and Kansas called the Dogs off and said, forget this foul game. It's going to make it even worse. I mean, it's the truth. And this is the first top 10 ranked win for BYU on the road since 2017 against Gonzaga. And this ends a 19-game winning streak for Kansas. I mean, at home. But we all knew that was going to end at some point. You cannot be invincible at home. And Kansas was favored by 7.5. They covered it during the game, but didn't win it. Now I'm going to go over the stats. And this does affect Big 12 standings, which I'm going to go over in a second as soon as I go over the stats here. The points on turns, for whatever reason, ESPN is not showing it, so I'm not going to go over that particular thing. Fast break points favor Kansas 8-6. Points in the paint favored actually in Kansas 30-16, but there's obviously more to the game than that. I mean, Kansas didn't shoot the ball good in this game. 39% from the field on 59 attempts. 20% on threes on 15 attempts. They only made 1 3 all game until 2 made threes later in the second half, and 61.3% on free throws on 31 attempts. That's 12 misses. That's a lot. And Hunter Dickinson was 6 for 15 in this game. 40 rebounds, 10 of those offensive, 14 assists, 5 steals, 3 blocks, 11 turnovers, 18 fouls, and how many points off the bench? 4 plus 3, that's 7, plus 2, that's 9. And 4 double-digit scores that combined 4K. The non-double-digit scores were 9 points plus all those bench points, like I said, so 50 points. And only one player with 600 points with 9, and that was Timberlake. But that was on 1 for 9 shooting, 1 for 6 on threes, but made all 6 free throws. And BYU had how many points off the bench? 6 plus 5, that's 11, plus 18, that's 29 points off the bench. Kansas is not that deep, and I get that they don't have Kevin McCullough. But, I mean, you're at home. And they only had 2 double-digit scores, BYU did, for 36 points. However, every other player that played, except 2 guys, were 6 points or more. I mean, 6 plus 7, that's 13. Plus 7, that's 20. Plus 6, that's 26. Plus 9, that's 35 points. And they didn't shoot better. They slightly shot better than Kansas. 39.3% from the field on 56 attempts. But here's the difference. 38.2% on threes on 34 attempts, which is 13 makes. And they made their free throws, unlike Kansas. 79.2% from the free throw line on 24 attempts. 37 rebounds, 6 of those offensive. 11 assists, 8 steals, 2 blocks, 7 turnovers, 24 fouls. And as we all know, Kansas does have to go on the road to Baylor now. Both those teams are tied in the standings now. And Kansas does have that edge for now because of their win in Lawrence by 3 points. And then you got Kansas State at home, which they're a bubble team. That's dangerous, and it's a rival. And then you got Houston on the road. And with this loss, Kansas, you're going to be out for the Big 12 title race in terms of the regular season. And it was already going to be hard enough anyway with Houston and Iowa State. But Houston has an easier schedule. So it seems. And now for BYU, this affects their seeding for the NCAA tournament. After a bad loss to Kansas State and Oklahoma State, and I get Kansas State now is on the bubble, but you get the whole point. At the time, that was a bad loss. They made up for this by beating Kansas at Kansas, and not many people could do that, especially if you're unranked. And you got TCU at home. You got to go on the road to Iowa State. That's tough. And you got Oklahoma State at home, which you lost to them. You better not lose to them again. I'm just telling the truth. And BYU now moves up to 8-7 in the Big 12, and Kansas now drops down to 9-6, and Baylor's 9-6 currently. There's no way that Kansas makes up 3 games remaining to win the Big 12 in terms of regular season. And this Saturday makes it very important. And currently, if you haven't looked at the other scores in the Big 12, Texas Tech men's basketball that is like 8-6 in the conference, by the way. They're trailing the Texas pretty handily. So that's going to be important for Saturday's sake. I mean, who's going to be that 3 seed potentially for the Big 12 for temporary sake? And we know down the stretch that Baylor has a hard schedule too. I mean, they got Kansas at home, which they're going to play ticked off, and I know it. And they're going to work on their free throws. And they got Texas at home, which that was just a dumb look. I mean, that was a game-winning shot, the buzzer. And I know Baylor has that on their mind for that game. And then you got to go on the road to Texas Tech. But if Texas Tech is losing to Texas like that, that's good. So that potentially this helps Baylor in a way with Texas Tech losing. Potentially. As long as Baylor holds serve at home, they could be a top 4 seed in the Big 12 tournament. That is possible. If they hold serve at home. I mean, so, and I'll go over the Big 12 standings more in detail tomorrow. And we know Houston's is number 1 and Iowa State's number 2. And it's going to be interesting how they're going to do all the seedings here, especially when teams only play each other once. I mean, and obviously if it's a sweep of a team, that's automatic edge. But if it's split, who knows? Especially when it's like you only play a certain team once and a certain team twice. I mean, so anyways, if you like this content, hit the like and subscribe button. See you guys later. On the road to 600 subscribers, of course, ultimate goal. It's 1,000 more, so we might not have to score. So liking the video, comment video, really helps YouTube algorithm so more people can see it. Sharing the video does help as well, so more people can watch. And if you're watching and not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. It's free, the notification bell as well.